Move yourself. There it is. Hello, hello, hello. Top of the morning, evening, afternoon, and good night to one and all. It is Sunday, November 24th, and I do apologize if our audio levels are a little bit low. I'm trying to figure some things out. I'm working some numbers, but this is what we have. So everybody should be equal to my level, and you might have to pump your volume all the way up just because... Oh, my. That was loud. Okay, we'll bring that one down too.
What?
Yep. Well, that's good. That really makes you stand out when you donate now. What happened? Why is my studio lights on? Siri, turn studio lights off. That was weird. Oh, you want me to do that, Brie? Siri, turn studio lights to 50%. Better? Is that better?
Sometimes I sprinkle when I
Well, you
drinkle.
weren't dark to begin with.
It's because half my face was dark. That's all right. Thank you, Vaughn. Thank you so much. I have a fun topic today, so we don't just sit here and just look at each other like a bunch of fucking idiots.
Oh.
And I know that
I'm
I'm
very
going to spark a
curious.
conversation. It's not politics.
Ooh.
It's not about religion. It's not about money. But it's controversial.
Huh. I'm
Let's see who...
intrigued.
You're muted, Spade. You know, your mouth is moving, but nothing's coming out.
Oh, I was saying,
Oh,
I
there it
guess
is.
when in doubt, whip it out.
Oh, you're going to use my shit that I just...
Mm.
Wow, bro. Wow,
Jesus.
dude. Wow.
I thought that was the theme for today. Okay.
Stealing shit that isn't yours?
Wow. Plagiarism.
Yeah.
Plagiarism. That's what we're going to talk about today. It's people stealing other people's shit. Okay.
See, it worked out. It was a good segue.
No, because you didn't know. Never mind.
You ready?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to start it off with a song. Where'd you come from, Mississippi? How'd you do it? Nothing? I got you. How were human beings made? Now, let's get into this. Some people are going to say intelligent design. We've heard this before. Aliens came here and crafted each individual. 30,000 years ago. They flew over on their spaceships and they made one person. Actually, they made hundreds of thousands of people. And we are here. So, I guess my question to everybody here is, how do you think, because this is going to spark a debate, I'm going to give you an argument for everything you say. Let's start off with Jorn. What do you, well, you're going to say God.
Yeah. So that's it.
Okay, so you think God just created everybody.
It's more tangible than flying saucers.
I agree. It's much more tangible. And what about you? I'll save you for last, Maddie. What about you, Spade?
I'd like to believe in the Big Bang Theory.
Which is, explain the Big Bang Theory to anybody in here that does not know what it is.
Where we came from nothing. And it just...
So evolution then.
Evolution, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Darwinism.
we're gonna have fun with that one. And Maddie?
I'm gonna have the brunt of this, right? I believe evolution, or that we have aided evolution.
I'm sorry, what was the second part?
Aided evolution.
What do you mean by that?
Helping, aided revolution.
So you two on the bottom believe that. Okay, so we'll go with evolution then. So you think that what no, I want to go with spades first. So the Big Bang Theory. The idea is that there was dinosaurs here, or were dinosaurs here when the Big Bang Theory happened?
No, the Big Bang Theory happened before anything happened.
Okay, then how come human beings and dinosaurs didn't coexist together?
Because the dinosaurs would have ate us up alive. When the dinosaurs were gone is when human beings started coming around.
And then how did human beings show up from dinosaurs?
from the mammals, not from the.
I mean, if this is
dinosaurs.
something
Yeah.
you believe, you should probably be pretty educated on it, right?
I would say that it was the evolution of, when people say like we were derived from apes or some sort of other mammal.
So you think that somewhere along the line that there were apes that had 10 toes, 10 fingers, and were smoking
Possibly.
cigarettes?
Well, I don't know about the cigarette
Mentals.
part, but yes, I believe that.
So you believe in that little diagram where they show the monkey and its
The
basic
monkeys
form,
grow-
and then
yes.
it goes up to human beings.
Sure, you could. I guess you could say that. Yeah. Well, I mean, before us, there was the Cro-Magnon man, right? Before Homo sapiens, there was the Cro-Magnon man, right?
I don't know what the fuck that is.
They were like humans with bigger skulls. Like they looked like they had like really.
So they were genomes of Homo sapiens. So they were a different type of human race, like the
It was
Neanderthals.
yeah. It was sort. Yeah, you could say that it was like a race
Okay,
before the
so-
human race.
Okay. Oh, race before the human race. So like a hybrid between a dinosaur and a human being.
No, not like that. No,
Not like that.
Short
No, okay.
arms.
They weren't going.
I
around
need
going-
okay. So you believe that people just showed up out of nowhere, that there
Just
were
like-
just
Yeah.
50,000 people in China that just popped up.
Not exactly like that, but sure.
Well, explain
I mean,
to
they
me
had to
how
start off
exactly.
with
That's what I'm
somewhere, right?
asking. Is how exactly were people made?
Well, they sit there and they tell you that evolution started about, let's say, for example, everybody started in water, and then eventually you started to crawl out of water, and you evolved into being able not to.
Then
breathe
how come
underwater.
that doesn't happen anymore?
We stunted? We stopped it.
Who
Okay,
stopped?
Wow.
we did. We stopped our own evolution because think about it. When we got cold, we would kill other animals to put it up as clothing, right? Now, if we were to evolve, right, our bodies would naturally create a heat source or something
No.
to combat the coldness that we're in.
Ooh, no.
No, because we're still
It
It
evolving.
needs to be triggered. It would need to be triggered. It
Well,
doesn't
yeah, that-
work that way.
Okay. This is a good topic because I feel like this is going to go on for 2 hours. Hold on. I understand, Maddie. You got your hand up. You want to speak, but I really want to get into the spade scenario. So you're saying that we start as a fish cell or a microorganism, right? We start from this microorganism, and then somehow this microorganism, after how many years does it start to grow legs? Just give me an idea. Just an idea.
I think it varies on the. It could be
On human
5
beings.
years, 100,000 years.
On human beings, how long? 20,000 years? 10,000? 100,000? A million? Like how long?
Let's just say 1 million, for argument's sakes.
Wow. Okay, so it takes we. Okay, we have this little cell guy, right? And it takes 1 million. If I could grab this fucking thing, we have this little cell guy, right? And he starts growing legs. He starts growing arms.
Right.
And then within 1 million years, this thing becomes a human being, right? With
Sure.
that theory, would there not still be more of these, since it takes 1 million years, right, of these creating humans, like these hybrid ones that we catch in the middle of it?
No, I don't think so, because eventually that's going to die out because it's not a strong gene.
Okay,
So
but
it
if
would-
those, okay, but if it took 1 million years, right? What is that surviving on for 1 million years? And they don't knock the boots during this 1 million years, so they don't procreate. These microorganisms don't have sexual organs.
Well, they started off as asexual, right? They could breed themselves, and then eventually it needed
So
to
they're
be
like
breed-
worms. Okay.
Cell division.
Okay. All right. Wow. So many questions. Go ahead, Maddie. I want to get you in here too, because I know where me and Jordan at. Let me just be
Yeah.
clear. Let me tell you my stance. Hold on, Maddie. Wait. Boost your seat. Bring your gas pump on your seat a little bit lower. Okay. Here's the deal. The way that I see it is God. I have flaws in this. There's flaws, but I'm not going to question God. God created Adam and Eve. Actually, there's like documentation I created people before that, but we'll just go with Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve, they make babies. Where I have a problem is, okay, you created that. So all brothers and sisters, because if we all started from there, you cannot populate the world with 2 people. It is physically It's impossible. You would have more retardation than you have. You would have more disabilities. You would have more problems. So, but then again, God creates perfect, so I'm not going to question that. But that's my belief. Okay, just putting that out there. Jordan, are you about the same?
Yeah, and that's a problem. You can't go past that, but there's probably a solution for that. And then when it comes back to you go to like religious books, the
is a
one
solution.
doesn't automatically negate the other. I mean, he did create out of nothing. That's basically the Big Bang right there, just written differently.
Open to interpretation.
Big Bang Theory has nothing to do with God, though.
No, but that comes from the ego of man. But if it's created out of nothing, that's exactly what he did. Like he created out of nothing.
Not exactly, because you could say that. What does it say on the "Let there be light" and all existed, or
Yes, correct.
what's the thing? So you could say that that's the Big Bang.
Yeah, an oversimplification of the process.
But the Big Bang Theory specifically has nothing. If you're looking at the traditional Big Bang Theory for people inside of chat right now, it has nothing to do with God.
No, but that's ego of man that's getting involved.
Then we can't call it the Big Bang Theory.
No,
the Big
but
Bang
it's
Theory in tradition is boom, this happens, we're done.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they don't have.
That's not God,
They don't
though.
have. No, because that's ego. That's why I meant with ego. They can't see past that point, so they go with science, and we're like, okay, but he created that. That's how I look at it.
And technically, God is science, right? I mean, everything is science by definition.
Yeah.
Right.
The Adam and Eve thing, you can get past, because the only thing you need to do is look at it as a location based. So a certain religion and its gods and creation history and whatever is from a certain region. So imagine Christianity is a certain region that believes God, Adam and Eve, whatever. But then you have China or whatever. That's another region. Buddhism. They have a similar kind of origin story with first people being made or whatever. So you could get around and say it's because it's a local thing, between brackets, it's a local thing. There could have been more people made by God or whatever you want and distributed
So
around
you're
the
saying
world.
God made
but-
different factions,
That could explain a lot.
like clans, if you will. Okay, tell me I want to hear yours, Matty, and we're going to dig into it.
Well, the evolution thing, yeah. Panspermia, yeah. Primordial soup, yes. And then critters coming out of that. It's been proven in the lab that you can create amino acids and everything during an experiment like the primordial soup thing. You can create the building blocks of life. So is it possible? Yes.
I'm not asking what's possible. I'm asking you what you believe.
I'm kind of open-minded on those things.
Oh.
Huh?
I mean, you have to think of it from the perspective of the scientists, right? They're saying that the
Why?
Earth is like 15 billion years old or 20 billion years old.
Why do you
Yeah,
have
but
to believe in
science
scientists?
is riddled with mistakes.
Yeah, there's no science is proven, right? Then it's not science. Okay, then it's factual.
Right.
Science is just merely hypothesis. I think this is this, and then this creates this.
And
Yes.
it's proven, yeah, but so far it's worked for our benefit, right? Science
thing
has
is,
worked
though,
for
what you
our
said
Has
before,
it? Hold on.
Tate-
Has it though? If God created Adam and Eve, and all people are from Adam and Eve, all of them, there are great grandparents, right? Whatever, times that by 1,000,000. If that is factual, when God created Adam and Eve, maybe they didn't have DNA. Maybe DNA was created by man. I'm going to give you 100% pure DNA. No flaws. It's perfect. It's created from God. There's zero flaws in this. Satan comes involved, starts introducing fruit and different weeds and shit, and they're eating it, and God didn't put that there. Satan is out here like an herbalist, planting things in the ground. I'm being serious. Planting
No, I
things in
get
the
it.
ground and toxinating their DNA. They make a baby, Cain and Abel. Cain's fucked up, right? He went around and slayed Abel over a damn lamb, and then it's because of what was in the meat. He had E. coli, right? And then, now Cain gets some babies, and then their babies got E. coli in their strain, and it just goes on and on and on, and it's just because of some other shit. If you were just pure, everybody would be beautiful.
It's actually one of the
I don't know if it's any
DNA
belief. I'm
perfect.
just coming up with this right now, but I think that's a fantastic.
the
Everything
DNA
would
thing
have
you
been
just
perfect
mentioned.
if someone didn't touch the fruit.
The DNA thing you just mentioned is actually one of the things that they use in the theory about visitation and alteration to an already existing species, which led to be the human species. That's why our
It's
DNA
hard
is
for,
flawed.
what's hard for me to understand is if God created Adam and Eve, right? Which he did. I'm not denying that. When he created Adam and Eve, what were they? Like what were they?
What do you mean? What were they?
Were
What?
they? What were they?
They weren't human because they were immortal.
Right. You're not human, so what are you?
Well, that was originally, right?
Before they
what's a
got
re-
kicked out.
Yeah,
Right.
because once they kicked out, they got the full human experience. They could experience
who-
pain, suffering, and
Right, but what were they is the question. What were they?
so
Gods?
So you God, angels, and then them.
They were like the
So-
prototype for angels because there was no angels before Adam and Eve, right? At least
No,
not to
because
our knowledge.
no, because angels have no
free will.
free will.
Yep.
No, I understand that, but maybe that's why he created the angels because he gave free will to humans, to Adam and Eve, and he saw how
No,
they.
other way around.
Angels.
Other
See,
way around.
there's a flaw with this. Angels exist. First off, angels is really a belief in. Angels existed before Adam and Eve.
Okay, they did. Okay,
Yes. It's
Otherwise,
not-
you wouldn't
there's
have
no
Satan.
mention in that in the first page of the Bible, but later on you come to find out that angels did exist.
okay,
Which now brings up the point of what were those angels before they were angels? Were they just created as angels?
yeah.
Yep.
He created something
servants.
for
Which were what?
his
Human
servants, his
beings with
Lord.
wings?
Yes.
Says who?
That's how they're depicted. I mean,
Right, that's how they're
To
depicted.
figure
Says
that-
who?
Yeah, to figure out that, you first have to go in the definition of human, and they're not. They don't have free will. They can't experience pain, so they're not human.
They can't
they have no
reproduce.
peepees or whatever. So
Yeah, they can't
Yeah.
reproduce.
So then, even though they sometimes are depicted.
So what? They're
as-
just an entity then. We're gonna go with entity?
yeah, lower
Okay,
bracket,
so
you
all right,
bracket.
all right, so we got it. So God is a ball. We're just gonna call it a ball light, just for sake of whatever. Is a ball, or a big old burly man with a beard. It's not a woman. I can tell you that much. I don't think it's a man either. But we got this big ball.
non-binary?
It doesn't have any organs. It's just a thing, which I think most people believe, right? Most people believe that there is some type of superpower. I think we could all
Yeah.
get on the same playing field there, right? Okay, fine. So it creates these angels, and then it creates Adam and Eve. Fine, the angels are an entity. Are Adam and Eve also entities?
no, there's something else.
Of what? Give me a modern definition of what they would be today. It's not a human being. So what is it?
Supposedly the perfect human beings, right?
Perfect human specimen. Without the
The flaws and the diseases and
the flaws that the body comes with now.
Okay, but they don't die. They don't age.
Yep.
So that removes the human element.
Well, but wait, they do age once they get kicked out of
Right, because
Eden,
they
right?
because they're not part of the garden anymore. So what?
Right.
Are they a demigod? What are where I'm going with this is if we are created from them, then that means whatever they are or what they were is what we are also.
Yeah, but watered down, right?
Right.
Because of the human element.
Yes.
Severely, because it's
Yeah,
not
and-
just Adam and Eve and inbred. It's when
Pollution, food,
the flood,
environment.
the flood, you started from zero again. You had what? Noah, his wife,
Yeah,
and
there's six husbands and
so
yeah, all that. Yeah.
you
But
got
they're still
inbreeding. then you-
related though. But they're still related to Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now I'm saying you got. If you believe that theory, you got two people that are breeding like rabbits because you need 500 people to have a diverse
There
enough
had to be more people.
group.
There had
Huh?
to be more people than Adam and Eve.
So and then you wipe them all out with the flood, and then you restart with already inbred people and let them inbreed again to create
Which
the rest of
causes even
humanity.
more issues.
That doesn't make you think that there's more than two people. I
Yeah,
don't
there's
care
a-
how active you are. I don't care.
It's only
if-
9 months to give birth, right?
If Noah lived to be 900 years old, right, and his son lived to be 800 years old, what is a year, right? Is a year 365 days or is a year 25 minutes? No one knows, right? We're just guessing that they made it. I'm thinking that the parts of the Bible that are missing, you're missing a key element. Where are the other people that help populate the world? It can't be just those two.
Well, they weren't important enough to be written in the book.
Or they were too important to take it away from the book because it removes the narrative,
Ooh, okay, sure, I could see that.
right? If
Yeah.
you change it now and you implement it now, all religions, all beliefs are fucked. They're in trouble, right? Because you base it off of a book that was written, even the Quran. You start adding pages to that. Well,
Well, remember the Bibles or any religion's Bibles or whatnot are written by man, right? So your theory on they took out things, yes, that makes sense.
well, that's not a
because-
theory. That is factual.
Well,
That
yeah,
there are-
it's factual that they would take out things to for the narrative to sound bigger and better
And
or more important.
we're also they were the purest form of human DNA around. So now we have 9 months to create a baby. We don't know if it was faster.
Still, they would have been pregnant all of the time.
Yeah, but there's not a lot to do. There's no PlayStations. I mean, there's different. I mean, you don't have the entertainment and distractions of modern life that you do have now. No? Okay.
So you
No,
said
no,
you wasn't-
I agree. The main flaw, I was hoping someone like Spade would say Big Bang Theory or aliens, because there's people. Well, that's intelligent life form based off of what you're saying, Spade. That's what your argument is. Then I don't know how you have God in there. What's God's purpose in your plan?
Okay, so if the Big Bang Theory happened and we were created out of nothing and everything, the individuals that were populating the world had no knowledge of where does the rain come from. Oh, let me just use my creativity and think that there is a guy in the sky who says, you need water, let me make it rain. So they created this whole story for everyone to believe in. And thus, this is how religion was created.
So, but there is no God then in your story.
In that
There
story,
there can't be a God in that story. That
yeah, there can't be. No, that's just.
But
what
you believe in God,
Believe
though.
in
you
Yes,
pray to
but
God.
right, but my belief has nothing to do with what is actually there. I can believe that crackhead is going to become a good person, but he
You
doesn't
don't believe
do
that
it.
seeing is believing? You're not a believer in that? That what you see is real?
Yes, what you see is real. Yeah, I believe that.
So, but if you believe that we came from this Big Bang Theory, then you believe that there is no God.
No.
No.
What?
Because I have the belief that there is something.
If I believe
Because-
that girl across the street is a prostitute because I see her have sex with people, that's
Right.
like me saying she's not a prostitute, even though I see that.
Well, did you see money being exchanged?
Yes.
Hold on. There is a thing though. The Big Bang happened way before the Earth ever came into play.
Right. The
Says
Big Bang
who?
is what created the
Earth
universe.
was always here.
No,
Religion-wise, no. The Big Bang created the Earth and all the planets and the universe.
No,
and,
no, it didn't. It didn't create the Earth and all the planets.
It was
It
just Earth.
created the universe. It created
That's what I
space
said. Yeah.
and material.
Oh my
And
God.
because of gas clouds clumping together, that's
Oh,
what after millions of years, gravity and gas clouds and
why
everything.
is this not happening
tons-
now? Why is it not happening now? That's always my argument. If we came from, I'm not saying that evolution is not real. If that happened, why is that not happening right now?
Because that's a
what?
process
We don't
that
live
has-
long
well,
enough.
that's
It's only 30 years, 80 years, 60 years. It's not millions, so we're not going to see it. Is that the argument?
what evolution or what are we talking about?
New big bangs, new universes popping up out of nowhere.
That's because that process is running or has run or is running its course. It's at the end of its. It's gonna be reversing in a couple of million years.
Oh, so we're going to all die, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
That
Well,
okay.
that's
Well, I
true
don't.
for
I don't think
everyone.
anybody is debating that. I think that is one thing we can
No, no, no,
all
I meant,
agree
like,
on. Is at
everything's-
one point we will no longer exist.
No, that's not what
I
I'm
don't
I
think
meant
regardless
there's
of your
anything.
religious.
I
as
don't
a
think there's-
species, we're going to die off. That's what I was.
A universe you're gonna die off.
Right. Okay.
This is again a hypothesis. This is not accurate. This is not factual. This is a man's guess. Yes,
So-
that's not up for debate, bro. No man can know when the end of the world is. Whether you
I
read
agree
the
with you.
Bible, no, whether I don't care if you're a Mayan, no man knows. None.
True. But
We've
it's
guessed this shit
reasonable-
over and over. And what if you were right? Let's just say you were right. You think you're going to go down in history? There is no more history. We don't exist. Right? Like, it doesn't fucking matter that you were right.
Don't matter, yeah.
Great. You're right now. And then as soon as everybody dies, it dies with that.
It's over.
It's over. So congratulations. Right? You can't do it for notoriety.
You better hope there's a God in an afterlife, so you can point
Yes.
the finger at people and go, "Listen,
told you."
I told
Right.
you so.
Right.
You wouldn't listen."
I think it's far-fetched for anybody to believe that we came from nothing. Nothing. To me, that's so hard to believe. Like little organisms that turn into human beings. Because look how advanced the human body is. That had to be developed by something.
Well, it's a myth that we're no longer evolving. We are still evolving.
We just don't see it. That's the biggest argument. And you can't argue that because
So brain size is still evolving. Bone structure is still evolving. Certain appendages that we used to need are
if
no,
that argument
no
is
longer-
valid, tell me something that we evolve. I'd say we're de-evolving, not evolving. But if you want to go with evolving, then what is the difference between a human being now and a human being from the year 500?
Strength for
We're-
one. I feel like
we're
we're
bigger.
stronger.
We're bigger. For starters, we have more brain. The skull is something that keeps, but it's not like you're gonna see it in a lifetime. Not even 10 lifetimes. It is.
Well, that's
a
what I'm saying.
very
15.
gradual
I'm saying
process.
1,500 years ago. Well, let's go to the year 10. Let's go to year 10. Let's go 2,000 years ago. Year 24. What has changed from a human being in the year 24 to a human being now? That's 2,000 years.
Yeah. So they would be smaller.
Okay.
Their brain or the volume of their brain
So
cavity
stupider.
and everything would be smaller.
So stupider.
Um,
So you're saying smaller and stupider. Got it. What else?
smaller and stupider.
That's your argument. You're saying that they were tinier and they had smaller
were
brains, so they're
smaller.
stupider. Next.
Shorter lifespan.
Shorter lifespan. But that you can kind of attribute that
Oh,
to
God,
the
with the
knowledge
fucking
we have now
lifespan.
and the knowledge they lacked before.
And you can
so-
also attribute it to that everybody when you were 8 years old, you're fighting in a war, right? So please, that argument doesn't work. So smaller and stupider. What else? Teeth, same amount of teeth, same eyes, same lungs.
Yeah.
So just smaller and stupider. So how do you explain the maybe Apollo, right?
Yeah.
How do you know he just wasn't a strong dude? He was a regular strong man. Like Andre the Giant. I'm going to give you a modern dude.
We don't.
You don't.
Again,
He was just a
we're
freak of
going
nature.
by right.
Right?
We're only
If
going
all
by
people
what
in
we're
Rome are
down.
not going to boots with all people in Rome, you're not going to have any big people, yeah?
correct?
Well,
I mean, eventually you might because of that one gene.
if we're
that-
pure, we're in the year 20, right? We're about as pure as it can be, or whatever. Well, no, before Jesus. Let's go 18,000 years ago, yeah? Everybody's knocking the boots. If I have 10 people in my house, right, and we're all fresh, God just creates us. All of our stuff is pure, yeah? Once I start adding different elements or different factions in it, we're not evolving. I'm just taking something from China and putting that into my house and making babies with it, right? So maybe we're not evolving. Maybe because we're taking other things from other nations or other parts of the world, that's what makes us bigger. Look at Vikings. Look at Vikings when they came out. None of them were under 5'8". Like, they're just big dudes. That's
that's
I
way
mean, it's
later.
not a big dude, but you get it. So if they're all 5'8" from that region, you start knocking boots with Romans that are 4'7". I don't know why.
And now you're-
fucking dwarfs. You start balancing things out. That's not evolution. That's
Crossbreeding.
yeah. That's what that
That's
is.
what it is.
So maybe it's not evolution. Maybe it's that we're just introducing other nations and saying, you know. And look at
Problem is,
Nigeria. Was
moving
it
forward-
Nigerians before it was Nigeria when it was all one thing, all Europe? Those people there were like stout. They were whatever 5'4" and 220 pounds, built like a little mini washing machine. No, I'm serious. You can look it up. So I just think it's fascinating that people blame this on evolution. That's not evolution. That's bringing other things into the mix. And then you got pollution. You got whatever. I don't think that's evolution, man. I think we're de-evolving.
Well, that's why I said the evolution stopped because we are changing what we're doing.
I mean, we're still evolving. We're just evolving backwards.
Well,
Right,
we
you're
are
still
evolving.
changing.
Think about this. Back in let's say 2,000 years ago, the weather, the air that we breathe in was crisp and clean, right? Now look at the air that we breathe in now. It's got different types of gases because of the things that we're doing to the environment. So we polluted the environment, and now that's causing us to maybe
So that
stunt our-
evolution is caused by people, not by a greater power.
yeah, that's devolution.
Is that a
No,
thing? The devolution? Is that a thing?
de-evolution.
The evolution. I mean, if you're polluting your people to the point where they're getting stupider, smaller, or whatever,
be-
less viable, you're de-evolving.
Yeah.
So, but the when you're looking at the lifespan, which Jordan pulled up, you know, people always bring this up as people lived, you know, I think the oldest man in the Bible was 1,000 years old. So when you pull that up, what do you base that off of? You don't know, right? So you can only base it off of what's modern. Okay.
Right.
But you look at all the shit that America put in the food. Now, if you look at us back, RFK talks about this, and it's accurate. When you look at us back in the 80s, we live longer than we did then than we do now. And that could be because all the shit we put in the food. That doesn't have anything to do with God. That's got to do with us and free will.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The reason why I brought that up is because from my perspective, we have it easier. There's no real survival anymore.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
Everyone in here doesn't have to look for shelter or have to go out and hunt. So it was dangerous back then. So that's the logic I'm using. Like, your chances of dying of a splinter in your finger or something is real. Most of the life-changing things
Oh,
are
the
removed.
diseases. You got it. You're on the right
diseases.
track.
You're going out hunting.
Yeah.
Some animal
But man
kills
didn't
you.
create those diseases. You understand?
Right, but how many diseases have we
True.
cured or had people live longer than
Okay,
what
but
they
those
did back then?
those diseases existed before. Let me give you a disease, right? Cancer. Yes, I will say that's a man's disease. Absolutely. Whether it's
Yeah.
food, hormone, it's some shit that we created, right?
Right.
Lyme disease has nothing to do with mankind.
Right. It was a
Nothing.
natural thing, but now people are not dying from Lyme disease, right?
I don't think
As
anybody
much as they
died
did back
from
then.
Lyme disease, but sure. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know. I don't know the Lyme disease uptick, but that's just an example, right? There's plenty of others, right? So I think a lot of the diseases we have are heart disease. Obviously, that's based off of our consumption, right? That's the free will. that's based off of free will. So
And then we started making things like refined sugar and saturated fat
And syrup.
and, oh, that's nice. Tricking your body into, oh, I need this.
do you think we could be immortal?
There is.
Not anymore.
Well, not immortal, but do you think we could look like we
There
do
is a-
right now and be 125 years old?
No.
There is a train of thought that says that our DNA was tampered with, and they took on. So human beings could live longer,
And who changed it? The
a
government?
lot longer.
The aliens.
Who
The
changed
aliens.
it?
The aliens. The aliens came down and changed our DNA, and
Shut
now
the
we're
fuck
not.
up. You being serious?
I mean, talk to this guy.
Wait, are you serious? Wait, hold on. Aliens flew here and modified whose DNA? Everybody in one shot?
No.
Laser beam.
The way it goes is, wait, let me. So the way it goes is, aliens come to this planet. They find somewhat human-ish species, and they make them into worker drones. To do that, they give them, they alter the DNA, give them more intelligence and some other stuff. They alter it so they're easily controlled, and they're just smart enough to do their bidding. And that's one of the theories.
So that's how we build the pyramids, and that's why we can't build them now again.
Well, not only the
And
pyramids,
that's
there
a
are
thing.
countless
They
things.
still, science still can't explain that.
No.
So
And that's why, and that's what Matthew says makes sense,
But-
because they came
but
down.
then in that theory, they died off.
yeah, where are they now?
Yeah, what's the return of investment? Like you build all this real estate and then you
They're coming
Well,
back.
that depends on the people you subscribe to, because some say that, oh, they couldn't go any their UFO or their flying saucer or whatever you want to ridicule it as, it broke down and they couldn't go anymore, so they needed the human workforce
Let's
to collect
assume-
to collect like minerals and supplies and everything.
Hold. Let's assume the aliens fly here. I'm gonna titillate this for a moment. Or I'll entertain it. The humans, these aliens fly here in a UFO. They're so advanced. They take these human beings, they turn them into worker drones, whatever. You're pretty intelligent to do that, right? You would think, being that intelligent, the last thing that would happen would be your vehicle or your transportation breaks down, right? Like
So what happened was there was a space fight, and they were shooting lasers at each other.
dogfights with
yes.
other alien races.
Yes.
yes.
And then they crash
Yes.
landed
So
here.
Star Trek meets Battlestar Galactica.
Sure. Yes. Go with that. I like this.
And
I like
where's
what
the
we're going
force
with
in this one?
I want to know how much drugs you need to be on to come up with these stories. Because if anybody truly believes that we are here because of aliens, why the fuck are we still here?
Well,
There's
here's
people
the
that
thing.
say that the aliens are still here; they never left.
Right.
Oh, yeah, you believe that. You made it very clear that you think that they're among us.
I think there's a possibility. Yep.
Okay. So look at. Okay, Jay. Let's analyze this
Guy
for a
gives
split
me
second, right?
anxiety.
Look at different religions, right? Let's just say like the Hindus and the ancient Egyptians and the Greeks, right? If you look at their religions, right? They each have a person who can fly or has a chariot in the sky, because back then they didn't know what a spaceship was. So who's to say that the spaceship that they saw was not what they conceived as a chariot in the sky, and some god who was the alien was flying around?
That's everywhere. China, Japan,
Right,
they had
exactly.
giant rock
They all have the
flying
same stories.
rock flying ships and whatever. And
Yes.
people described it the best way they knew how to describe
Exactly.
it.
People
with
also
the
had more
limited
access
idea
to
of things.
opium and hallucinogens 100 years ago. So, I don't know if I would
Yeah, but-
really take the word of someone that was smoking opium out of a pipe in their backyard.
But those are the
tent.
same people that wrote the books.
But then that's not fair because you could say the same thing of people who came up with the Bible. They were on something.
Exactly. You don't know that. You don't know what they were smoking or ingesting.
Okay, I find it very
Ate a
hard
lot of
to
mushrooms.
believe- I have a very open mind. I find it very hard to believe that there are aliens out there working with human beings to.
Well, see, that's the thing, though.
Keep
You're
but
assuming-
keep in mind, there's a huge difference with doing a little doodle, drawing something, or having thousands of pages of coherent text.
What's the
on
difference?
drugs, that's impressive.
No,
Try
what's
to
the
write a
difference?
poem and do some LSD. Good luck.
No,
That's
I don't
pretty
see the
accurate.
difference. I don't see the difference. You've got
You can't even form a coherent
thousands of
sentence.
years of history with
on
indigenous
heroin.
tribes that have a verbal recount of or how do you say it for even before there was written language or whatever, they verbally passed down. And like Indians, the feather, not the dot. They have the people from the sky, the flying people. Like Alex Spade said, almost every culture has it.
Yep.
Oh, so but
Why?
in this scenario, you mean there's someone else, like writing down the accounts of the person that is on? Like it's not the same person to actually
Yeah.
draws it, or okay.
It could be a
Yeah,
number of
that's a loop.
people. It could be the whole
You
town
don't
is
think
right.
that someone from India saw China's drawing and was like, "Ooh, I saw something similar to that. Here's my drawing."
Ah,
There are
Problem
similar.
with that is the distance.
okay.
It wasn't as easy to
How did the
travel
guy?
now.
How did the
as
guy
now.
in Egypt create the same pyramids that they created in Mexico with the Mayans? That's
And
not
they
Word
have
of
feasible.
the-
mouth,
man.
bro. Word of mouth.
No,
Pigeons.
because
Then-
those cultures didn't intermix until.
That's not. I like how you put that on aliens. Like out of all the things you put that on, not transportation, not a pigeon, you put that on some fucking flying ship with some people or whatever they are in it. Why have we not seen them? Why is there no proof of this? Just people talking.
Well, my
Give
my
me
biggest
proof.
issue-
Show me proof that it exists.
But
That's
we've
like
been.
saying, prove to me that God exists. Not
I can
everyone's going
prove
to-
that. You're looking
not-
at it.
Right, but
How?
not everyone's going to believe that, though.
What do you mean?
So you want
how?
options?
That's because you believe.
Yes,
It is proof.
because I
It is
see
proof
it.
to you. It is proof
No,
to
no.
you because you believe. Somebody
no.
that doesn't believe doesn't see the proof. It's just a nice story in a book.
Jordan didn't believe. Jordan didn't believe. Now he does.
Now he does. So now he believes. So
Because he saw
he goes
something.
along with that.
Because he saw something.
Prove me that he saw something. Make me see. Prove me that he saw something. Give me evidence that he saw something.
He's not wrong. I mean, he's got a
Give
point.
you evidence that you want me to give you evidence of something that I saw or that Jordan saw.
No, that Jordan saw.
Oh,
He's saying-
well, why do you need proof of that?
No,
So he
but
can believe.
we're talking about we need
I'm
we need physical proof.
I've become more positive in the entire sense.
But we're talking about you need you guys are saying I need physical proof.
No,
to
no, no,
see
no,
an
no, no,
alien
no,
with my
no,
own
no,
eyes.
not in
Well,
a sense where I need. Hold on. Let me be clear. When I'm saying I need proof, I mean you don't have to give me like a piece of a spaceship, right? Like don't. You're not gonna
That
find
would be cool, though.
Okay, that if you show me that, that's still not accurate. That's some weird metal from some shit. I need when I'm saying I need proof, give me something other than just your word.
Well, that's
So you
why
need
we're
a body.
talking about the anomalies in history, things that were there that could not be there. Lack of
Right.
technology, things that are way past the people of those times, and they keep pushing it back because now it's 13,000 before Christ or something. Civilization. It keeps they keep finding things that don't add up, and then even human
it's not like-
civilization. At a certain point, we've forgotten a lot of what
I could give you proof. that
technology
God
or
exists.
whatever.
I could give you proof, like physical proof. Jesus Christ was real. That's been proven.
By different religions, yes.
So that's a real person that was immortal.
But who's to say? Hold on. Let's take Matthew's idea, right?
No, hold on.
Who's to
Jordan
say
wanted
that
to say
this-
something. Jordan had his hands together like he was praying to God. I'm with you, Jordan. What do you got?
Well, the same problem we are having with Adam and Eve is the same problem I'm having with the alien story. Is it was a dominant force, right? Way intelligent than us, way more sophisticated than us. Why didn't it dominate us? And what happened for them to lose control?
Why did
They
we?
did
Why did we
dominate us.
take control? That's a good
Yeah.
point. That's a
They
good
did.
point.
There's always a revolt. There's always a revolt at some point.
But we were so weak. God kicked us out. So you would think that would be
Yeah,
your
but-
opportunity now to take over.
Yeah, spears and sticks is not gonna make it on this one. And
Well, also, I mean, Brie brings up a good point. It's kind of satirical. What she says is, "Where's Aliens book? Why haven't they wrote a book in their language with little symbols and shit?"
Well, we
Yeah,
don't know if they
were
did.
way advanced. They were already on iPads. So they
Okay,
were
that's great. Then
e-readers.
show me what you had prior to that. We can prove that the Ten Commandments was written in stone. How far that goes back, I don't know.
How about depictions
know.
of them written in stone or written on walls?
But those were human creations, right? There's the problem.
There's
right
even
there.
there's
Look,
even
Egypt,
still
bro.
text they cannot figure out.
Yeah, look at ancient Egypt. They all had elongated heads. All
Yeah,
their
but
drawings of people.
okay, but you have tribes again with the elongated necks. We can do that ourselves.
No, I'm not saying a neck. I'm talking about their heads. Their craniums
Okay,
were
if
three
you,
times.
if you could do it with your neck, you could probably do it with your skull.
You can with the cones. They do it with
Yeah.
the forming of the skull to make it point.
Only
You can
thing
do
is,
that.
they found a couple of those skulls that had no sutures in them. The when you're born, what is it sutures, Jay?
that's
The
Where it's
hairline
all
cracks in the
lines
hole.
together.
The lines.
Yeah.
There's some of those skulls do not have them, and every human being has them.
That's wow. You got to do a little bit more research on that. Neanderthals, the original Neanderthals, the way that they had one in the back, but the top. You are right. The top of their heads had none, which is weird. Why I don't know, but it is a form of human beings. It's just. Which
Yeah, it
goes
would be
back to
weird
what was
that-
Adam and Eve? Were there actual human beings? I don't think so.
Thing is also evolution.
They were
you have to see
naked.
like-
So
yeah,
they
you have
had
to see
something.
evolution like the tree with branches, right?
Yes.
So it's
I
not
would agree
like
with that.
you have the
Straight
you have
line.
the base amount of things, and this branch is gonna
Right, but
be
that's
a
evolution
gorilla.
that you're actually
That gorilla
watching.
is not
though.
gonna turn.
Right, but you're watching that happen, which I'm not invalidating. I'm saying that is real. Like, or a tree grows around a fence. You watch that happen in your lifetime. All the evolution you speak of human beings, you cannot watch that in your lifetime, which
No,
proves
you
to me
can
it's
only-
not real because I can't
But the only
see
thing you
it.
can do about it is that you can document something, and then 1,000 years later, somebody goes like, "Yeah."
Okay, so using your argument then, I mean, we're not gonna. I hope you end up going to heaven and you start believing in God, or we both go wherever we're going together, so we can go back on this, so I can say you were fucking wrong. So if
I
your
told you
argument
so.
is valid, forget AI, forget everything. I take a video on my phone of some shit, okay, and I keep doing this every day. I don't know. I'm filming babies being born. And this goes on for 1 million years. Good luck with that hard drive space. 1 million years, you get these 10-second clips that eventually, with all of that, those human beings are going to change in 1 million years.
Yeah.
I got
No
a
fucking
better
way.
I got
I
a
don't believe
better
it.
I got a
don't
better
believe
example for you. Look at the phone you have now and look at its first generation.
Man-made.
Can't do
Man-made.
that. It's man-made.
Man-made.
We're not talking about
Right.
something man-made.
Exactly. It's man-made. But that means that if man can create something bigger and better,
No.
why can't nature make something bigger and better? Why?
No.
It does. It's the survival of the
If God
species.
created
Exactly.
a perfect world, which we can all agree on, yeah, or whatever whatever your belief
been
is, if God
gone
created
for-
a perfect world,
Yeah.
then anything
No, it
that's
didn't.
added after it is no longer perfect anymore. Because
We-
you're
we've
adding
never
things to
experienced
it.
the perfect world.
That's
you
not
wanna-
that. We're not talking
Evolution,
about me and you. We're talking about the bigger picture.
Oh.
but yeah, the evolution. Remember, we were talking about that bird, woodpecker, whatever, where it was, whatever place it was, and because it couldn't get to the grubs, only the ones that had a longer beak they
Yeah,
survived.
the The bird.
Ah.
Yep.
So
And
there you
that
go.
happened within 15 years. But that's what I'm saying is, how come we don't see that now? You have it
Because
documented. Are
we're-
you saying that there's birds?
we are at the end. We are at the end of a branch almost. So, yeah, evolution it goes slower and slower, especially because of the things we are doing now to ourselves, to the environment, whatever you want to do. It's not like at a certain point. I think at a certain point you stop evolving.
No, we're still evolving. What are you talking about?
We're
Men
still
can be women-
evolving, but there's
Yes,
going to be
men
a
can
point where
men
you
can be
stop
women now, and
evolving.
women can be men. We're
Being
evolving.
stupid. You're being stupid.
It's changing. Everything's changing
We're
now.
trying to get philosophical, and you want to throw a transgender in there.
But it's an evolution, right?
Man-made.
No, it's not
Yeah,
an
but you
evolution.
can't
1,000
use
years
that
ago-
argument. But it's man-made.
people-
It's the same as the phone.
Yeah, you keep
can't use
using
that.
man-made. We have to go with what is in nature and what is real. Human beings are real. We can't go with what we create. We're creating
nature.
cures for diseases that one could argue and say should not be cured.
But in nature, what does a virus do? Oh, we find
Evolves.
something. We find penicillin, or we find something antibiotics or whatever. What does the virus do? It
Oh, hold
becomes
on.
resistant.
You can't kill a virus though. Still not.
It becomes resistant.
Right, but
It evolves.
if you get a virus, you essentially have to let it run its course.
Huh?
Now you could boost other things to make that virus go away, but there's actually no cure for a virus. Even with all the technology we have, you cannot kill a virus.
That's correct.
Immunity, and just make you stronger so you survive.
Yeah, we can make you strong. We can put you on a breathing machine, breathing apparatus to make you weather through it. You know, there's
Your
even
body
some
has to
venom
fight
that
it.
there's no cure. We're just gonna give you oxygen and force you to breathe.
That's why
Again, you're
they're
playing
looking
God at
into-
that point, but that's not the argument. That's human beings that are adding that force of element. I'm talking about the creation of man and aliens existing. There's no
Back
way
up.
you're going to tell me that we are aliens and there's aliens among us. Who? Trump?
Oh, we'll go the other route.
No, that's the ridicule part of. Okay.
No, what do you mean? Yeah, okay, we're talking about it. Do you want to just all be friendly and nobody watch us? Let's talk about politics.
The
Let's talk
biggest
about
the biggest
Kool-Aid
issue
drinks.
is where even with outnumbered, if you're that advanced, I'm having trouble seeing how you would lose your power. If
Who,
you're-
who says they lost their power?
Why
Wait,
are
now
they
you're
not
saying
in
they're
power?
still in power? You mean they're still like in power, like a shadow government, and they're still in play?
It's possible.
No, I'm asking legitimately. I'm
Nobody
not making
said
fun.
they lost their power.
Yeah,
you
but
know
it
when-
seems
Where do you,
that way,
where do you
right?
read this shit from, Matthew? Like, where do you get this from? Genuinely interested.
Books,
Like a book
documentaries.
or a YouTube channel?
No, books, documentaries. Some by renowned scientists. Which was a thing 20 years ago. They would have laughed him out of the building, and now people are accepting it.
Well, it's just like that Lee dude with God and all that, and then he ended up going crazy. So I don't know if we should.
And what is their hypothesis? Like, they're still around. They don't really show off their technology anymore, but they're still in power. What is the
Don't
general gist of it?
Well,
Why
that's
are you
the thing.
getting
Don't really
agitated,
show off.
Matthew? Why are you getting agitated?
No, I'm not agitated. I'm just into the discussion.
Okay, go ahead.
Uh,
He's excited.
they still have moments where they show themselves, like the recent thing, recent 2 years ago, what the Pentagon released with the camera from the gunners, camera from the pilot and everything.
That's another problem. That's we're so advanced that we get potato footage, like it's filmed on a Nokia 3 series sometimes. Yeah, with all the technology we have now, you would think I could get like a 4K image of it.
But
I'm
if
willing
they're
to
I
bet
can see, I can
above
see the
yours-
driver right in there.
No,
I'm
no.
willing
But
to
what
bet-
if technology is over yours and it counteracts your
Come
technology?
on, bro. Come
Okay.
on.
No, I'm
No.
just willing to bet that if you go into your yard tonight and there's a for the lack of better terms, there's a flying saucer in your backyard. You take a 4K picture of it and you post it on internet. They're gonna laugh. That's gotta be fake because that's where we ended up at since Area 51 and whatever. It's been steadily being denied. If somebody says something like, "Hey, this isn't normal. We see the stuff in the sky, or there is this or this anomaly," they get ridiculed. They get declared crazy. They get laughed out of the building. So even if you were to take a picture, that they probably wouldn't believe it, or they would discredit you.
Okay, but then going back into it, let's open that freakish door a little bit. Is then God even on top of that, or what would you classify that? Just another smarter species living in the universe?
Yeah, where does
and
God fit in
rules
this
over
role
all?
of
could-
aliens?
Actually,
Do
that's a good
people
one.
believe that aliens believe in God?
They probably have a deity as
No,
well.
like
yes.
the books I'm talking about that you read. Do they mention God in their books at all?
Our God or
Well,
My
there's
God,
gotta be
yes.
one, right?
I mean,
There's
Yeah,
got to be
they
something
are mentioned, but
all powerful.
they are mentioned, but usually in a way to explain some things and how people came to attribute certain things to gods or to angels or whatever. They're not saying they don't exist. They're just saying people.
So if aliens are the reason why we're here, why do anything good?
But they're not actually they are the reason, but they're not the reason. Going off of what the astronauts were gods theory with them landing and tinkering with our DNA.
They gave
They
us
didn't
a jump
create the
start.
Earth. They didn't create the people or the pre-humans that were already here. They just altered them a little bit. So they did not create us per se. They altered something
Not-
that was already here. The creation, that's something completely different because they got created at some point as well.
Well, who
So there
created the
has to be
aliens?
some higher power or whatever that
Okay.
created that first life.
In these books, who created the actual aliens then? Like, how did the aliens come to be? Did God create
Well,
those
that's-
too?
That's what I'm saying. There has to be a power that is bigger. If you contribute to the Big Bang and the consequences of
Like
it,
Gaia
or
whatever her name is,
evolution,
right?
or whatever.
GAIA, the person that, or the thing that created all the universes and all the, right? That's what you're talking about?
So
Like
there,
one ultimate creator.
a God, even our God, who's to say he's only watching over us?
You're saying that there's one above God.
No. I'm saying, who is to say that he only created humans? We might be his thousandth
I mean, it's
iteration
kind of in the
creating life.
Bible that he only created humans, right? Like it's very specific when he created Earth, when he, a seventh day rested. Like it's pretty damn specific. It doesn't
right,
mention
if you
anything
look-
about
that was-
aliens.
Right, but that was their limited intelligence, and they said that we are the only thing that were created around. Who's to say he hasn't created some other beings on another planet? We know that there's
Then
other
how come
planets.
there's no book that came out 100 years after the Bible explaining that?
Unless
They
we never
probably
knew.
have, but it's probably put under as nonfiction as opposed to fiction. Because people probably thought it was just some guy who wrote a story as opposed to believing.
Is
in
there
it.
an alien version of the Bible?
You would need to ask the aliens if they have a Bible. So
No,
that's
I'm
gonna be
asking you,
enough.
since you're into sci-fi, is there an alien Bible? I'm not being funny. Like, is there a Bible that is that a bunch
Sci-fi,
of people
but,
got together to make you believe that aliens are real and explain everything like they did with the real Bible? Is there a version of that?
That would be completely different, right? That would be written from their perspective, their creation, their
Right.
yeah, it would
Is
be
take the
different.
Bible and make it swap out God for aliens.
Oh, in that way. So you're
Yes.
removing God in there. I thought God is
No.
still in there, but then it goes.
No.
From their
Aliens are
creation.
in there, coming in, taking over the world,
Oh.
doing this, and there's different
Oh.
chapters and segments and that.
Not a Bible in the.
So that
traditional
makes me
sense
believe
of
it's
a
not
Bible.
real, because if you can't take the time to make an alien version of it, Muslims, I believe, is real because you took the time out to make the book, right? Judaism, you took time to write multiple books. Yeah. So Mormon, you have like 500 books. So I feel that because you have all these different accounts, if you will, it kind of validates it. Like it's not one person playing telephone. It's 60 different accounts. With aliens, you got 60 different people writing 60 different books and separating them. Put them all together, make it one big book.
But
In order for us to be able to talk about that, you would maybe have to wait another 2,000 years.
Wait, why?
Why?
Because it's always been ridiculed and done as nonsense. So from the time people go like, yeah, this is proof of it, then you can somebody can say, let's create a Bible or let's create the big book about aliens. But you can't.
Well, people would do
cannot
it
do
now
it.
for the wrong reasons, right? People didn't do it back then for notoriety. They did it because God told them to, or Jesus told them to.
they had their belief system.
Right, but now you would have a bunch of people on YouTube, bunch of YouTube creators trying to make a book about aliens based off of some shit that they read from 1925. I'm talking about put all those people from whatever year, the 1800s, 17, pick a year, pick a decade, and all those people got together and they wrote the Alien Bible.
And you have now more motivation to do it because now you get notoriety and you can get, even if it's 20 people buying your book, you're getting money off of it. Now going back 2,000 years, writing a Bible wasn't the motivation to get wealthy off of it.
Right?
So in order to illustrate what I mean, kind of, let's say, Jay, same thing as with Jordan, you go outside tonight and there's an alien literally standing in front of you and there's his spaceship or whatever. They take you on board, they show you everything, whatever. Next day, you go online and you talk about that experience and you try to convince people that what you saw is real. What do you think is going to happen?
Well, I would have proof.
Yeah, we're filming.
No. I'm not talking about proof.
4K,
You,
and it's in
you
4K.
saw it with your own eyes. You shook
Yeah.
the whatever goes
Yeah.
on for a hand or whatever. You
Yeah.
patted them on the back. They showed
Yeah.
you everything. They
Yeah.
took you in there, flew you up to the moon,
Got it.
brought you back. Whatever you want to make it proof.
Can I answer the question? I have this. So you were saying for some reason all my cameras don't work, right? I can't film this. Yeah.
Nope.
I'll go with that. EMF, everything shuts down. Everything on the block is dead, but I'm alive, right? Thank God it's not you, because you have a electrical thing inside of you. You would die. You're dead. But okay, I got you. I feel that you would believe me. Jordan would believe me. All the people that know me would believe me. Which proves how much power one person can have, because I would not lie about that, right? That goes against everything that I know or believe, right? Pick one, even though knowing is believing, or believing is knowing. If I was in that ship and I told people, some people would believe me. Other people that don't know me would not believe me. They would think that. Now, if you go back and you watch my videos, though, I can show how honest I've been, right? Why would I change that now? So a person
Agreed.
writing a book, your argument, that's a good example, because if the people that write the book about the aliens you read, what was their notoriety like? They're probably a fucking nobody. So no one's going to believe you. You're just talking out of your ass. Now, if it came from Nelson Mandela or Donald Trump, people would be like, oh, shit, this is... What do you mean, no? That you just agreed that if I told you and you know me, you would believe me. So,
Yeah, but
yes,
he doesn't know them.
That's 1%. No, that's not even 1% of people.
But it doesn't
how
matter.
many
All the
people-
people that know you now, right? After you know me, I've experienced this. All the people that know you, your son, Sabrina, you tell them about me. Now they know you. So now they're going to believe you because of me. Right? They know how you are. And if you believe me, it's got to be legit. So now the word of mouth comes along because it comes from somebody that's known. I don't fucking know that guy in that book that wrote that shit about aliens.
You don't, but
understand it?
Matthew does because he read the book about it.
No, he doesn't. He only knows based off of what he's reading. Because his argument is there's no proof, right? That you writing some shit down. Let's just say that him writing it down is proof. You don't know that fucking guy.
Well, then you can throw out the Bible as well, because you don't.
I don't
know
need the
who wrote
Bible. There's
that.
a lot of the Bible I don't agree with. I don't need the Bible to know about God.
just if somebody writes something down, and you can always say that's poppycock.
Right, but
and-
I don't
and I'm
believe
not
in
gonna
God
believe
because
that.
of the Bible. We've been through this. My belief in God has shit to do with the Bible. I
Right.
can give a fuck about the Bible.
But using the Bible as a basis, though, is different.
Sure, to give you an idea of what's what, but your life
Right.
experiences and what you go through, for someone to have no negative things happen, I don't see why you would believe in the Bible. I think negative things have to happen for you to believe. Not all good. All good is just, why do I need to believe in the Bible? Everything is great.
Right.
I'm not going to change this up. You got to have faith to restore humanity, or faith to restore your belief in coming to the States, or faith to believe there's something better than what you have. I don't need to read that in a book. And with aliens, I have no reason to believe they are real. If you show up in my yard, yes. I'll ask you about God then, since you're so intelligent that you got past all our radar, all our security systems.
No, but-
how the fuck did you get here? Let me show
The
you
point
inside.
is,
Hold
if-
on. I want to know how you got here. Wait.
But the point is, if you were to do the same thing and talk about Jesus or God, people would not declare you crazy, right? You go on Twitch and you do the same thing, but you're preaching
Talking
about
God
God
coming
and,
to
and
your yard,
angels
is what
and,
you're
and
talking
whatever.
about? Are you talking about if God came to my yard? Like where people are saying they see God?
Oh, not even if he came to your yard or whatever. It doesn't even matter. I mean, it's the general way of thinking. If you go onto the internet and you yourself preach God and Jesus and whatever, people are not going to think, or the vast
They're not gonna think
majority
you're
of
crazy.
people are not
Right.
going to think you're crazy. You do
Agreed.
the same thing with
Agreed.
aliens that you saw, and people are going to go, yeah, he went off the deep end.
Again, it's different because you're saying that you saw. In modern day, if you saw an alien, I would find it very hard to believe you have no proof of that. Physical proof. In today's day, your neighbor's got a phone. Everybody's got a phone. Everybody got a camera. And if I look at my backyard and I see a disc landing in someone's yard, I'm going over there. I'm that fucking guy. I'm the white guy, that wants to get into the shit for no apparent reason. I want to go see what's up.
Pressing
so
buttons.
I don't think.
the people you
It
see
would have to-
talking about aliens, they say that they see them. Yeah, right. Have I seen God? Yes, but not in a way that you think, right? I've seen it through things. I haven't seen the actual, like, God himself in my front yard. No.
Well, but that's kind of what happens if you start watching those documentaries and start reading those books, and they come up with all those things that cannot be explained. Like, how can this building be built over there? It weighs 50 tons for
Goes back to
one
the
piece of
pyramid
rock.
argument.
It's so closely cut that it's airtight. You can't
Couldn't
get
one
even
argue?
get a
Hold on. But
building.
then, if your argument is that we were smaller and stupider, right? Back then, couldn't one argue and say that we are stupider now and larger? Because if they figured out how to build a pyramid and we can't, and that was how many years ago? Maybe they were smarter than what we are. We allow technology to do all the thinking for us.
Yes.
Hence,
That's
AI.
why some people think that we used to have a certain knowledge, or humanity used to have a certain knowledge that we've lost.
So, but then they're not stupider. Then they're smarter than us because they didn't
They're
rely on
stupid.
things.
At
to
that
tell them.
point, they were stupider.
How?
Okay.
I'm not getting
so
that.
okay, because what they would do is they would walk up to a plant and eat the berries, and if they died, the other guy's like, "That guy died. We can't eat those berries." So that's why they were stupider, because they didn't think. They didn't have the same
No.
technological prowess that we
That-
have now.
No,
to test things.
we're literally talking about capacity, brain space, your skull, stuff like that. We're
Oh, you're talking about
biologically, yeah, being physically smaller, being frailer, being. I mean, the thing I was pointing out is that at some point in time, it's not a given, right? But some people are saying that at some point in time, humanity had a greater, or there was a form of humanity before us that had better knowledge and greater understanding of everything. They had technology and they had wisdom. We just lost. That got lost somehow.
Well, we did. I mean, a lot of that stuff was written down in the libraries in Alexandria, and then look what happened with that. They burnt it down, right? So who's to say that these people
Who
that
burnt
were
it down?
smarter?
Who burnt it down?
I don't remember who exactly burnt it down, but the libraries in Alexandria were burnt down. So who's to say that these people weren't smarter, but they were also pacifists, let's say, right? And us being stupider and more angry, we walked up to them and told them, "You're going to do this." No, okay, and we started killing everybody and tried to destroy them and get rid of them, right? That's a possibility, also.
It is.
know,
That's like
Or that
assuming
goes
that,
back-
you know, we found fire, you know, was a caveman, right? It's,
Right.
whatever, caveman and two sticks, lightning, whatever. Maybe they found it 300,000 years before that. It just got lost. We don't know that, though. We only know with what we can see and what. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove. Can you prove that aliens exist? No. Can you prove that God exists? In a physical form, you can prove that Jesus existed.
Who's
To
to
say,
say, that,
that
he's
it's
not
the Son
alien?
of God, we're all the Son of God. So, if yes,
Who's to
I
say
think
that-
that proves that God exists. If we can prove that Jesus is real and the Prophet Muhammad, right, Muhammad, if we can prove that those exist, and those are disciples of God, then doesn't that prove that God exists?
But who's
the
to say
prophet
that
is a
these
human
people are
being,
not
right?
aliens?
Yes, created by God.
Right. But who's to say that these people, Muhammad and Jesus, are not the aliens?
They were healing people. Like, I mean, I don't. What?
Exactly.
That-
Who's to
that-
say that the aliens don't have the power to heal people?
Well, any technology sufficiently advanced to a civilization that is seeing
Now,
How
it,
come we don't see
now
them
doesn't
now?
understand it.
If aliens exist, how come we don't see them now? How come they don't come around and fly over us? How come
Because
all the
who's to
footage
say
we
that
have-
aliens
Hold on.
don't look like us?
How come all the footage we have is from fucking Loch Ness Monster filmed on a damn Motorola StarTech, right? How come we don't have current shit? In the 80s, that's all we saw in the news, bro, was, oh my
Yeah, the Loch
God.
Ness,
It was-
Bigfoot was a big
But
thing
all the
too.
shit we see, even with AI today, you still don't see it. I'll tell you a story though, and I know that it's true. It's going to give Maddie some ammunition here, and I know that it's true because it came from a very valuable source. My buddy goes to Ecuador, okay, and I'm sure I have the footage. You didn't see this on YouTube. My buddy goes to Ecuador, and he has an iPhone 12 or an 11, and he's driving down the highway, and he hears a sound, okay, and there's no other cars around him. This is Carissa's father. No other cars around him. He takes his phone out, and his phone records something in the sky that looks like it's cutting the clouds. And then when you look up, there's nothing there, but only the phone is catching it. I believe that to be true. How do I explain that? I don't know, because it came from a valuable source. But all we see is what's on the camera, not what he sees. So you could look on a camera and say, well, that's a plane. But he's seeing nothing, so it's not a plane. What is it? Is that an alien? I don't know.
It could be technology. It could be a military plane hiding from
Now,
plain
you don't
sight.
see with your human eyes, but the phone does, and that is I swear to God, that is a valid story. I don't know how to explain that.
Hold on. I can't see infrared. I can't see infrared, but it's there,
It
right?
ain't gonna cut through clouds. Bro, when
Actually,
I tell you
no.
it was cutting through, I'll send you the video.
No,
it
when
looks
there's-
like a plane, it's so you see all the clouds in the air, right? They're all fluffy, and this thing is cutting through it on the video, and he's holding the
Okay,
phone like
so
this.
let's go with that, right? Example. When there's smoke, you see the ray of light. When you turn on light, you see the ray of light. But when you don't have smoke there, the light is just on the wall. I can flash this light.
Okay, that's a
onto the
lot
wall
different than
right
something
here, and I
going
can
through
see
a
it.
physical thing, right?
Right. I can
That's
see this
not
light.
physical.
I can't see.
No,
Right? It's not
you
physical.
could-
But if I put smoke, I can see this now.
You could go both ways on that. It's something God did, or it's an alien spaceship that has some cloaking technique and it's not visible by the naked eye. But if you put your camera on it, the camera picks it up somehow.
Right.
There's
But that doesn't
okay.
explain something flying through the air. And
No, if it's an
But he
alien
heard it
spaceship,
also.
he
That-
heard it.
that-
Yeah, he heard it, but he could not see it. But the camera
See it,
could.
right.
See, that to me screams more man-made.
But you can't see it.
Yeah, I know. But the reason I'm going with that is because that's also one of the things that I'm. Let's go with the alien part, right? We're flying over. Wait, let's go. You and me, Jay. We're going to a different galaxy, and we're going looking for other life. Are you going where the lights are, or are you going to the remote place where it's all dark and you're not gonna see anything? That's my problem every time where there is a sighting. It's usually in some back hill town where there's almost no people.
Oh, yeah,
if
agree,
you're going
agree. Yeah,
exploring, wouldn't
yeah,
you
that doesn't
go
make
to the
sense to
highly
me.
populated areas where you can actually
No,
see
why?
something?
Yeah, no, I agree.
You're gonna get
But
caught
where
there.
he was in Ecuador, I will be very clear. Where he was in Ecuador, there's a lot of people, so
Oh, okay.
it's not
That's
that.
my argument. Yeah.
I don't think it's an alien. I think I don't know. It's something that I can't.
if you're gonna fly a spaceship and hover it in
I don't
town,
know.
you're not gonna do it in New York. You're gonna do it
Right.
somewhere where you
Well,
don't
why
But
get
you're
in
invisible. You're invisible anyway. You have the technology to be invisible. You would go to the highly populated area so you can survey it, right? You want to learn about the species. You're not gonna go where you can
necessarily.
only catch one.
No, because the radio waves and all the other ultra
Oh,
frequencies.
come on!
that
I'm
are out there-
way more advanced than that. If you
You
can
don't
be
know that.
invisible,
No, we
Wow.
do know that. We do know they're more advanced because we don't see them anymore, right? We don't. You don't have any physical video proof, non-altered video from someone you trust to show me an alien. Not unsolved mysteries bullshit. Like you and me. Show me right now a video of or like ghosts, right? I believe in alien as much as I believe in ghosts. Now you guys seen the shit that I've seen. I took pictures of it, Air's face, and you could physically see that. I still do not believe in ghosts. I don't know what it is, but it's not ghosts. The same people that believe in ghosts are the same people that believe in aliens. So they're one and the same. Watch. Matthew, do you believe in ghosts?
Not per se.
No? Okay. That's incorrect then. Most
I don't
people
think so
do.
because I think it's two different spectrums. There's two
They're
different-
entities. Those are entities. That's
No.
some other
What I'm
shit.
saying is somebody who believes in aliens probably won't believe in ghosts because it contradicts the alien theory.
why? No.
Because ghosts
No,
are supposed to be more religious because you believe
No,
that
not
more.
necessarily. It's the soul. They can
Yeah,
even
right.
have
No, no,
souls.
no.
Who says an alien, if it exists, highly
right, we
doubt
don't
it,
know that,
doesn't
though.
have a soul?
We're assuming. We don't know that. I feel like a person who believes in aliens
So
doesn't
they're
believe.
immortal? You think aliens are immortal? They don't die?
Yeah,
I
but we
think
don't
they
know.
die.
You think they
Again,
die?
it's two different things. If you believe in aliens, you don't believe that you have a soul. And if you
You're
believe that you
believing
have
in
a soul,
something, whether it is an alien or a ghost, I put those both in the same bracket of supernatural.
Oh yeah.
Both of those.
I see.
Oh,
I
no.
disagree. It's not the supernatural. Supernatural is something religious.
Paranormal.
Aliens are not
paranormal.
religious.
Paranormal.
No,
What
not
is
even
it?
paranormal. Paranormal is ghosts, ghouls, whatever you want. That's
Right.
not. That's
Yeah,
not,
that's what I said. That's
well,
what I said.
that's not-
Those are
that's
paranormal.
not- aliens are not paranormal.
Exactly.
No, the aliens are supernatural, attributed to some force beyond scientific understanding or the laws of nature. That's supernatural. That's
Both
aliens
of them. Yeah.
by definition. So, but you believe
never
supernatural
used
is
in
ghosts
that
and
way.
aliens. What? But that is the definition of supernatural.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that it's never used in that way to
That's
describe
fine.
them.
That's
something-
Those people are uneducated. You know all about aliens, but you know the definition of supernatural. I mean,
Or maybe it's their version or their definition of supernatural.
I'm
Well-
telling you based off the definition of what supernatural is.
It's beyond the nature we see here, right? So
Some force beyond
So
scientific
based-
understanding or the laws of nature. a supernatural being.
So yes, I will agree with you that the definition of supernatural is that. But I believe just like every other word out there, people have a different way of
Okay,
interpreting
fine, whatever.
that.
Well, but either way, we're getting off track. If to me, ghosts are not real, aliens are not real. Why? Because I don't see them. It's that simple.
I want
Demons. Someone asked about demons. So I believe in demons. I believe in internal demons. I don't believe that there are demons out there like the movie Ghost. Everybody's seen Ghost. That's some
Yeah.
scary shit with the demons coming out of the ground. That's some scary shit. I don't believe in that. No, I don't think God would allow that. No.
But you do believe in the devil.
Yes. In order for you to believe in God, you must believe in the devil. I also believe in possessions. Like
Right, but the
can
devil,
take
the
over
devil.
body.
What is the devil though? The devil's not what we make it out to be—a guy with the horns and everything like that. The devil was what? The devil was an angel that just left the side of God and created his own thing. So
It's outcasted.
he was outcast,
after he tried to rebel against God.
right? Because he wanted free will. That's what the devil wanted.
There's more to it than this. I don't think it's that simple, but okay.
Right, but for simplicity's sake,
Okay, sure,
that's what you
sure.
say.
It
Okay,
goes against God.
He goes-
Yeah. Okay.
that's
yeah.
it.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah.
so we don't know.
Simple.
We don't know that the devil is this horned guy with a tail and walks around with a pitchfork. That's what we created.
You mean the perception of it?
Listen to
But
what
the
you're
basic-
saying.
the-
Listen to what you're saying. You're going against what you said in the beginning versus now. Before you said people wrote down chariots, so they believe in that they exist. So people wrote down that the devil's got horns because they've seen it or whatever. So you're going against what you said in the beginning, Spade. Now you're switching. lanes.
No. I'm not going against it. It's just like that's how we're perceiving it. Just like if somebody
So
drew
it's
a-
real then, based off of what you said earlier and what you're saying now, is that it's real?
No,
because people
no,
wrote it
because-
down.
No, they wrote it down that way so they can scare little children to do what you're supposed
No.
to do.
Bullshit.
I fairly believe that. I really believe that the fact that they made it. If somebody is supposed to be an angel, right? Then how all of a sudden this guy was, part of God's army, and then all of a sudden now he's doing his own thing, and he looks like something that we would see in a horror movie.
Okay.
The thing is,
but-
if you have medieval people, medieval or before people, and you want to scare them, you're not gonna depict the devil, the bad thing, as
Yeah,
somebody
that looks like
that
you.
looks exactly the same as Jesus.
Right.
True,
Right.
true. But that use Spade's example from the beginning is because people couldn't really explain what they saw in the sky. They used like a chariot, or what you said.
Right, but they barely had a language to begin with.
Okay, wait.
People.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they used something that they could relate to. That was the example you gave, right?
Right,
Like they use a
right.
chair because they see that in their everyday lives, and that was to kind of explain to the rest of the people. Okay, but you wouldn't have a guy walking around with a tail and horns. So how is that relatable then?
That's church. The
Yeah, but it's
institute.
still people. Yeah, but it's
But
still
that's the,
people.
that's the institute, the institution. That's the church.
Yes,
Trying
but that's
to
not very relatable.
Make
The
some
first
people
example
afraid
makes
of the
sense to me.
bad guy and look up
I
to the
know.
good guy with
I
the halo
know.
and the
But-
nice wings and everything.
Okay, I agree. But in the one story, you use something that's every day, so you can make it more relatable, so people recognize that, even though it's something supernatural.
Well, but it's
And
the
then
same
you-
thing though. That UFO in back in whatever days, that wasn't really a wooden chariot flying in
No,
the
right,
sky.
Right, because
I
now
know,
we have
but
a
you-
language and we can explain things. Back then, these people
True.
could not explain things. So now,
But
fast
but
forward
my-
1,000 years to when Jesus Christ is around now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he starts talking about all these things, and people start making more examples of what this person could look like.
Mhm.
Just like we say that Jesus Christ is white, he's not white. He was in the Mediterranean. He's darker.
True. But
we
he's
perceive
still
him as a white
depicted as a
person.
man. He's still depicted, regardless of skin
Yes,
color.
but he didn't
my
have
mom-
straight brown hair.
But that doesn't really matter. That's just
It does
my
matter.
say-
It does matter.
No, but
Because
because
if
in
I'm saying that
the
the devil has horns, it could be that the devil was his hairstyle was like that, and they thought
Okay.
that they were horns.
True. Okay, I'll go with that. But why depict it a certain way in the one story and not make it more relatable in the other story?
Why do we
Something
pick
that's
that?
every day. Something every
I
day.
agree with you. Why do we say Santa Claus is a fat man with a red suit and white stuff around his
Well,
collar?
that's
Because
marketing.
Coca-Cola
Yeah.
created him.
Yeah,
Coca-Cola
that-
created that image for us to understand what Santa Claus looks like.
But that's to sell a product. There was no product yet to sell.
Yes,
with the
there was.
UFOs, there
It was
was no
religion.
product to sell.
Oh.
And with
They were
well,
selling
Maybe they
religion.
created the aliens to the people that didn't believe in God to give them something to believe in.
Possibly. That's also true. I could
Options.
believe that.
Let's go with this, Jorn. You go back 12,000 years.
Mhm.
You have LED super bright flashlight in your pocket, a lighter, and whatever, a knife or a pen knife or whatever, and you flash that to people 12,000 years ago. What are they gonna think? From their, try to look at it from their point of view.
They would
That's why
probably
if
think
you
of
read in the
having a
Bible,
portable sun. Yeah.
if you read the Bible or other ancient texts, you have to
But
Because they had a limited
You're still
vocabulary.
kind of,
Yeah, but
if
you're
you read
still
it from
proving
our
my
point of
point.
view, what we would say, a passenger jet in the sky, how would they describe it, and how would we You have to take that description and put it to modern.
100%, and that's exactly. I agree with you, Matthew. But that one certain thing doesn't make sense to me, because in the one instance, I believe it wouldn't make sense for us looking back into time. That I would probably put. They would describe it as I'm pulling out like a portable sun, the LED, right? They would draw it portable
Now take
sun.
that.
But
Now
that's
take that. And they made they made you a holy man or whatever, or they made you a god or whatever, and then there's a whole religion based upon you. And you read that story now,
yeah,
the way they described it sounds
incredible. No,
incredible and alien to us. But if you look at it from our knowledge point of view now, and you go back and you go like, oh, they described it as he had the sun in his hands, and he could could take away the night, and he could whatever. You read that as a religious thing way back when. If you now read the same text now and you start thinking about it, you go, wait, what could they possibly mean by he could take away the night, and he looked like he had the sun in his hand? He can make it light when it was dark, and he could make fire from his from snapping his finger, and he could.
Or I made
Yeah.
people healthy by giving them a tablet and then changing it and saying, hey, this is receiving communion. Here's your aspirin for your headache. Here is some wafers and wine, and enjoy yourself because you won't have a headache anymore. It's all open to interpretation, how they saw it and how we see it. According to the internet, it says that the creation of the devil with horns and a tail was done by the Jews.
I guess my point is, I understand the interpretation of it is from that incredible story from the guy with the pocket and it goes to a sun. That's trying to explain something from their point of view, something they can't explain. They dumb it down to something they can explain.
Exactly.
And for the devil depiction, in my mind, it works the other way around. Like they did it the other way around. They didn't dumb it down. They make it extra.
Like I said, if you want to create a bad guy,
Yeah, they went the other way.
Scary. Look at angels, right? Do we really think that angels are walking around with a halo over their head? No, it's depicted that way because we want to make them look different than humans and that they're a deity above us. So let's put a halo above their head to be like, oh, that's an angel. Let's add some wings to explain why they can fly.
yeah, and it's not the bat wings. It's the nice white
Feather wings. Exactly. So it's all open to interpretation and how that person back
That
then.
doesn't, however, that doesn't negate the fact that demons and the devil and angels might exist.
Correct.
Yeah, but it had a purpose.
It's just people making them more.
Than what they are.
So
Then
then, what
what?
do you think you're here for? What's the purpose of being here for then, Matty? If we're just here,
The $1,000 trillion question. What's the purpose of life?
42.
Bree's upset. She's infuriated.
Why?
Read the YouTube chat.
I think it's the purpose is for to end.
She's letting someone's opinion bother her. That's what she's doing.
Oh, but we're not denouncing God. We're having a discussion about something, Bree.
I don't think anybody here is denouncing God. It's just believing in something other than God, Bree.
Right. But your belief doesn't mean that you need to have proof. It's just something that you believe in. Something that made you change your mind on something. Like Jay says, like, I don't believe in God because of the Bible. Things have happened to him in his life that caused him to believe in God. That's his belief. That's his
No.
opinion. That's the way he sees it. The way you believe in God is not the same way that Jay believes in God.
Well,
Sure.
I like me. I for instance, I
belief.
believe in a higher power, something more akin to what Jay believes than what you can find in the Bible or in a church or whatever. I think church is a human construct to make money. That's
I want to
that's
hear
that
what
was
you were
agree
going
with
to say,
that as
Joe,
well.
when you said no. I want to hear what you were going to say.
Well, I remember asking you, was there a certain point or something that happened to you that made you shift that way, that belief? And you said distinctly, to my knowledge, you said no, because I was, does this happen during when you were overseas and you were in the military?
Right.
I was trying to pinpoint when you started believing, and you said no, because I saw something. It wasn't something that happened to you, it was something different.
All right. That's not good. Yeah, it's if anything, it would make me question God for all the negative
Oh,
things
yeah.
and not believe it.
Right. But you're looking at it from a different perspective, saying that he's doing all these things to make you stronger. That would be the positivity in it. You're looking
I
at
think
it.
it's to test me. I don't know if it's to make me
Right.
stronger. It's the matter to see how strong I am, not to make me stronger. Just see what my breaking point is.
Right,
Do I
but
lose faith?
if something keeps happening to you bad and you're above it, you keep going, you keep pushing forward, you don't submit to other things, it's making you stronger in a way. Because let's say 6 years ago, you would have never thought of, I don't know. Okay, perfect example. In the beginning, when your daughter passed away, right, it kind of bothered you. But now, because of everything that has happened to you and what your things are doing, you don't let that bother you anymore. You understand that it was taken from you for a reason, or it's made you a stronger person. Somebody says, "Oh, hey, you killed your daughter," or because you're a shitty father, that doesn't bother you anymore. So because of that, it's made you stronger. You don't think that made you stronger? The fact that you pushed above and somebody
No.
saying,
I think I was stronger than you might have anticipated off the jump. It showed my strength.
right. But if you didn't know that, then that made you stronger.
No,
Because you didn't know about it.
It didn't make him. It kind of showed.
Yeah, it showed.
It
my
was
strength.
already there.
I was already.
You didn't know
strong,
about it.
right?
So in theory, it made him stronger. I mean, I see what you're saying. I think we're saying the same exact thing. It's just
Yeah,
that we're looking at
wording it differently.
Yes, we're wording it differently.
Yeah.
Meaning, look, all I'm saying is like he didn't know he could push through it, and then he finally pushed through it. So what did that do? That made him stronger to push through it.
No, I knew I could push through it. I knew from the second it happened, I could push through anything. I knew that. That's not accurate. No. I don't think that's accurate. I think that no matter what happens, I don't question my strength. I question how I will use my strength to do it. Does that make sense?
Right, but wouldn't that make you stronger that way?
No, because I'm
you-
already strong. I'm Apollo. I am God. There's nothing that can beat me. I just have to figure out the way around it.
The strength is already in you. God is
Yeah.
showing you that you have that strength, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think God. Oh God. I don't think God knows my strength. If he knew your strength, he wouldn't test you, right?
Because he's testing.
Because of free
Yeah.
will.
I
Because of
disagree,
free will.
Jay.
Well, you have free will, right? He doesn't know your strength. Why else would God test you? Why would I ask you questions if I don't,
You can
if I don't
learn
want to know
to
the
be
answers?
better.
No.
To
God,
make-
God
to
knows
make-
all, right? But God does not know our free will. That is the argument. We have everybody has free will. So if I keep giving you, I wouldn't ask you a question if I already know your answer to it. So, especially if I could look it up and find it myself. So if that's the argument, then God is much more powerful than what we think he is by all definitions. But I don't think it's not that I don't think he's strong enough. He doesn't know my limitations as to what will break me.
So you don't think he does it to show you? He
No.
does know how strong you are. It's
No.
just you don't know how strong you are until he tests you and you surpass it.
Well, why
And
else would
he
you
does it
test
to show
somebody?
you? Listen, you can handle this as well.
Why do you go basic knowledge? Why do you take a test in school? So they figure out your knowledge, right? That's the purpose of a test. Everybody says God is testing me. God is testing me. So God's testing you to see what your strength is.
See, no, that's.
I mean,
where
if we're
differ.
going basic fundamentals, that's what it is.
I think he already knows. It's just to let you know.
Right.
Let you.
No,
let
because
you-
well, then if that's the case, he's barking up the wrong tree.
and to
Because everything
maybe-
God's gonna throw at me, I'm gonna deal with it.
the test might also be to see how you handle it. Are you gonna give up? Are you gonna go?
Well, I think in that scenario, that would be God testing air, not me. I'm just not a cattle.
Well, it's a snowball effect, no? Wouldn't it be a snowball effect? Because he's testing her, which also is testing you to see how you would react to that.
Well, sure. I mean, if you want to get technical, but it was a test of air. Air failed, or maybe he succeeded. I don't know what the test was, right? Yeah, I don't think God knows your strength, which is why he tests you. He wants to see what you can do.
See what
Show
your
me.
breaking point is.
Yeah, show me. Show me you still believe in me after this. Show me you still believe in me after this. I don't think
Just
it's
like
as simple
we
as
had-
reading from a book, go by those guidelines, a Bible, and then you go to heaven. I don't think that's what it is. I think
sit
if
in
you
the
believe
front
in,
row in church because you
Wait.
pay more than the rest.
yeah, no, I think it's,
If-
I'm going to give all these things at you. I'm going to throw all these negative things. And if you still believe after everything is said and done, you're welcome here.
That's
That's what I feel.
Time of Jesus.
then,
is one
then
of
it's
church.
not a test for you. Then it's more a test of him.
Yeah, no, that's accurate. A test of him to,
How powerful he is in your life, not the other way around.
yes, yeah, that is accurate. That, and everybody, and not everybody, most people that believe in God feel that way. I don't know if I would say it that way, but yeah, sure. What is your belief in me? Kind of like how I play games with hazers in a dark, weird way to see if you're what your breaking point is. I'm not
Those
God.
ratings are sucky.
Yeah, I don't have a good success rate.
It wasn't even big tests.
Yeah, I don't agree with that, Buckeye. I don't agree with that.
So weird that they use the word believe.
Yeah, I definitely don't believe in that.
Believe. If you know something, you know it.
If that statement is true, Buckeye, why would someone take their own life? What do you describe as handle? To me, handle is power through it and move on, right?
What if you
It goes back to open to interpretation.
change the strength into belief?
See, that's what I'm saying, Monkey. Exactly what you said is exactly what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I don't believe what he said. Give you more than you can. What do you take it as handle? Survive through, right? Power through it. That's what handle means. How are you going to handle this? What's your decision? Will you still believe in me? Will you still pray to me? Will you still thank me? Who's going to thank God for the daughter's death? See? I mean, I did.
That makes him a little dark, no?
A lot.
Well, no. In the sense that the free will comes back into play, you get the option. You made the wrong choice. That doesn't make him dark because he gave you the free will to make decisions. There's bad stuff happening all around. That's because of the free will. That's not him.
Yeah, but if I
doing that.
manipulate the situation into you killing somebody, I can
But
manipulate something.
but who says that's God? Then you also said the devil.
No,
is
that's
in
what we're
play as
talking
well.
about, right? He puts you through some test or whatever. He instigates the test. So he
And you can
instigates
pick
whether,
good or
whether or
bad
not you
because
pick
of
the
the free
good,
will.
the good one or the bad one. He still instigated it. If he wouldn't have put you in that position, you would have not had to
But
make
you
that
have to
choice.
go. I think everybody has to go through these tests. Jorn would
Yeah.
come to America. I think we have to. Because if we don't and everything is handed to you, then what do you believe in? You know what I mean? Like, what?
And there's no test. So how do you prove your beliefs?
Yeah. Yeah.
If there's no trials and everything is hunky-dory all the time, why would you do something bad? What would be the temptation to do something bad if everything is perfect
Personal
to
gain.
every single...
Personal.
Yeah, but there is no personal gain. You have everything you want. Why would you kill someone? Why would you do something
Do you
bad to
truly
another
have
person?
everything you want? Even billionaires? Do they really have everything
No, but
they want?
that's I'm talking not.
You're saying in a
in-
perfect scenario.
Yeah, we're going back to the garden. There would be no
Even
test
they
of your
didn't have
belief.
anything all the things they wanted because you still bit the apple.
Yeah, because of temptation. But if you
Because
remove
someone
that
was
as
a
well, there was
catalyst.
nothing else. Yeah.
Why
See,
even
but-
allow that
wait.
temptation to be there? 'Cause again, it
Temptation.
goes back to the test.
Yeah,
And they made the wrong
temptation,
decision.
Okay, yeah, but you just said temptation. So
Yes.
if the devil tempts you, that's evil. If God
Yeah.
tempts you, that's divine.
No, he doesn't tempt you. He's the
Yes,
option.
he does.
No.
Yes, he does.
The bad decision would be go the other route, and the good decision is him. The free will is the option to choose.
Yeah, I don't think he's tempting you because you could use it and say, why allow him there? Why allow, Satan there or Lucifer or whatever you want to call him? Why allow him in the garden? I think it goes back to like the thing with air with me is the test. I hate using air like this, but whatever, it's the topic.
I'm
think
sorry, I didn't want to.
No, it's fine. No,
Okay.
it's fine. I just don't want anybody else to feel uncomfortable because I'm talking about it like that. But I don't think he tempts you. He tests you to see if you will still believe and essentially thank him for what he's done. That's what you're supposed to do, regardless of how dark, regardless of how bad it is. I don't think it's...
That's only if you pick the right thing then.
Right. If you pick the wrong thing, well, then you can't go on to
Right.
speak about it. It's over.
Yeah, that's why I said that. Then it's always gonna be, well, tests or no test. You can say the same thing about the devil. He tests you as well.
And we're all looking at it from human eyes. Our brain is very limited.
If you go off the premise that there are two very separate entities, they
Yep.
both test you.
Yep. But they both want you to join their side.
They want different things, but they both
Ah.
test you.
No. But that test would only be available when you have the free will, right? Well, that doesn't. Well, Adam and Eve didn't have it yet.
So
What
how
guy's
come
just-
if
this guy's just not getting what I'm saying?
if
I'm
if
sorry,
God
I
if,
want to talk about this for a second.
okay
You can handle it, but if they don't believe they can handle it, that's what they believe. It doesn't mean it's true, Dave. It's what they believe. No, it does mean it's true. Because if you believe it, that doesn't mean you have been through it. Just because I think that if I win $1 million, I'll do this, that doesn't mean that's just your belief. What I'm living is living proof. That is truth. That is factual. Just because you believe in something doesn't mean it's real. It's just what you believe. You believe to be real. Seeing is knowing. No idea what the fuck you're talking about, Buckeye. I have none. You're running around in circles, bro, and you're holding a sparkler. And I'm trying to understand what you're saying, but it's just not.
Do
It's
you-
not. Okay.
Do you want better? Once you know something, you no longer believe in it
That's
because
right.
you know it. Belief is
facts.
only
It's factual.
in something you can't be sure about. That's belief.
That's right.
You believe it to be true. If you know it to be true, you know it to be true. It's
And
not
just
believing
because you
anymore.
vape, right? If you vape, it's not a habit. It's something you do. It's a choice. A habit is something you are not aware of. You can't say I have a habit of doing this. No, you have a choice of doing this. It's the same thing. Belief is
And
just
belief
that.
it-
It's not factual. It's just what
And
you
be-
believe.
And belief can be positive or negative.
Yep.
Yeah.
I also
If you
don't
believe
agree
in the
with
wrong
that
thing.
statement either.
What I said?
What? No, what Buckeye just said in chat. I also don't believe
Oh,
that.
you're still reading that?
Yeah, I'm still.
Free will. You should have.
Pivoted to something else. Got it.
Make it. But there's still people who try because otherwise nobody would ever
Okay,
jump
but
any further.
Yeah, and that's different. You can, if you want to do something, let's say it's a jump. You can jump, fail, retry, and eventually you can make it. It's different with
Playing with
on
your
a larger
emotions.
scale of things. Yeah.
Well, that's like saying you're going on. You're afraid of roller coasters, and somebody's telling you, "Well, listen, maybe you should push through your fear and keep doing a roller coaster until you
Whether
push."
or not you
past
believe
that."
in it, you're still going to try it, right? Regardless
Yeah,
of
that-
whether or not you believe it. You can believe the
That's
opposite
more-
and still do it.
That's
and
more
it
fear of
convinces you
failure than it
otherwise.
is belief, right?
Yeah, that. Yeah, that. It's not even on the same field. Yeah, whether or not you believe you can make it, the only way you're going to know is if you actually do it. Fuck believing, just jump out.
Yeah,
of
the
it.
guy that smashed with it. Yeah, the guy that smashed the rock with the Red Bull thing. I'm pretty
Oh.
sure he believed he was gonna make it. It
Yeah.
didn't really make a
How'd
difference.
that work out?
Yeah.
With the wingsuit, yeah, not so good. Believing will fuck you. It's what you know. It's not what you believe in.
He knew, but it didn't matter anymore that he knew that he didn't make it.
Now we know he can't make it.
It's no longer a belief.
It's fact now.
Belief has nothing to do with what you're saying. Buckeye, do you? Okay,
Nope.
I'm just gonna focus on the chat. I mean, I'm gonna focus on the people here. I'm not understanding.
Maybe people need to get the definition of belief.
Wait, is he
I believe-
basically saying whether you believe or not, if you can still make it out? Is that the gist of it?
Well, I
think so.
believe that I could beat up Mike Tyson. That doesn't mean it's going to happen now, will it?
Yeah, but no.
Wow.
What he's saying is even though if you don't believe, you can still have the personal strength to overcome certain things.
Again,
If I'm
again,
reading that.
if I have the belief of fighting Mike Tyson
No,
and
belief.
winning,
Yeah, no. That belief is out of the question. You,
Oh, okay.
you don't believe in anything. You can still have the personal strength to overcome certain obstacles in your life. If
no,
I'm
because you
reading
still
that correctly.
believe in something. You could believe that you could overcome the obstacle just because of yeah. That doesn't. You
Yeah,
still
but
have
that's
the belief.
belief in yourself. Yeah, but that's
Okay, hold on. The definition of belief, according to the Oxford Dictionary, is an acceptance that a statement is true or that something exists. Trust, faith, or confidence in someone or something. That doesn't necessarily
still
mean
belief.
that it's
Yeah.
going to happen.
If you think about it, you cannot believe something and know it at the same time.
No.
And you can only believe in what you don't know.
Right, that's the
Okay.
same. Knowing is believing. Yes. You can only have belief in something you don't know. Yeah, because you don't have factual evidence to prove that it's real. Correct.
Yeah, again, because if you know it to be true, it's you don't longer believe it. You know it.
It is. It
Huh?
is. It is true. Yeah. Nah, I agree.
That's why. But that also because that is a way of saying it they use. I know Jesus, right?
I've never, honestly, I've never heard anyone say that. I've never heard anyone say, "I know Jesus." Okay,
I think I've heard it before. People
I've
saying
never
I know
heard that.
Jesus instead of I believe in Jesus.
I've never heard that. I always hear people saying, "I believe in Jesus." I've never heard of people saying, "I know Jesus." Really? Did you guys all have coffee on Sunday morning at the cafe?
Yeah,
down
that's
the-
too literal.
Yeah.
I mean, people say Jesus is watching over me. He's not literally in a plane watching or in an air balloon watching over you. It's just the way people say something.
I know Jesus. Yeah, we hang out on Saturday and we go paintballing.
I'm still lost.
He's the one using the blue balls.
Yes.
He always seems to find me. It's not fair. I think he's
Somehow. It's like he
somehow-
can see through things.
Yeah, and even if I hide, somehow those pellets make it behind the tree and stuff like that. That's very difficult. I've never won a match against him.
He's cheating, man. He's cheating. I don't know.
I'm so lost.
Who's bullying?
I don't understand what is happening. I don't know.
Maybe that's that's probably air.
Oh, okay. I see what he's saying. He's using bullying as an example.
Just because someone thinks that they can't take any more bullying doesn't mean they can't overcome it. But if you
Right, like
you
if somebody's
believe that
bullying
they
me, I
can't
have to
take any more,
overcome
yeah.
the fact that someone's bullying me. I think that's what he's trying to say.
Or you could just do it. You
Right,
don't
that's what
need
he's saying.
belief.
He's gonna
Yeah,
try
but
to
you
do
don't
it.
need belief for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need belief for that. You just do it. If I have the option of jumping out of a plane, whether or not my parachute's going to open, I'm not worrying about the confidence or the belief. I just fucking do it. 'Cause, you don't need confidence to do that. Okay.
Yeah. You also don't have to believe to go on a diet to lose weight. There's facts. You
Right, it's
know that's
factual
what you
because there's
think.
proof. Because there's proof. It's a proof of concept.
Right, but he's saying
guess
that
just some
he-
people
he
have
needs
a
to
lot of-
believe-
Go ahead.
No, I think it's because he thinks that the way the belief works for him is I need to believe that I can go on this diet. I need to believe that I
Then
can.
you need to
do
find
this.
more intestinal fortitude and not believe in anything and just fucking do it. Whatever happens.
Right,
happens.
but everyone's different, right? So everyone looks at it from a
Yeah,
different
some are
perspective.
weaker than others. Agree.
Right. And, but
But
you know, everyone has their job here.
yeah, but the belief will go to something. To me, that's my interpretation of it. Is belief would push you over things you can't,
Right.
right? But if there's already proof existing in the world, if you do step one, you will eventually lose weight, become more intelligent. Then you don't really need belief system for that.
I agree. I think if there's something that proves otherwise, you don't need to have belief.
No, because it's already fact.
If you don't know God or want to know God, then I think you should believe in God. You understand? If you know God and you see God, there's no point of believing because you know it. It's there already. It's not. I mean, if someone says you believe in God, yes, but you say I know God, it sounds weird. But I don't know. I guess the way that I look at belief, I think belief is just a thing that we use because either we don't have faith in ourselves.
Yeah,
do it.
and I
Just
think
do
I think
it. You don't need belief. Just do it.
You're muted.
Maddie.
So you believe in God or Jesus until you find him, and then you know him.
Yeah, but just to say I know God sounds.
That's pretty ballsy to say that. I don't know.
It sounds weird. I don't. You know. I guess that's just that English interpretation. You know, it just sounds funny.
Well, that's like, okay, that's like saying some random guy saying, "Oh, I know Jay Hayes." No, you know of him. I know Jay Hayes. Jorn, Matthew, we know Jay Hayes. You know of him.
Works. Yeah, that works. That works better.
There's a difference.
I've seen all of his reviews.
But if you're going further, you in this situation, to make it then more religious, nobody would ever actually see Jay to make that work.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Just disappear. Who would miss me?
The people who know you.
The people who know you, exactly.
Hey, we're gonna tell stories about you.
We'll write
Go
books.
around.
Books.
For a
We will
week.
write books and movies.
Yeah, oh yeah. The people that come by once a week, or you know, the 8 people that stop by. Oh yeah, they'll write books.
Well,
It's
listen.
one of those things where when
on.
you're around, nobody's around, but when you die, but it's like, God, I wish I would have spent more
Oh.
time with them.
They
you
were
gotta look
your
at-
best friend. When you died, they were your best friend, and you were their support, and they were yours. And you guys had great times.
But Jay, remember, Jesus Christ had 12 apostles, right? He had 12 followers. And that's all he needed in order for the whole world to believe in him.
Yeah, and one of them was Judas.
Okay, so they're not all
Well,
perfect.
we already
right?
got rid of him, so we're on the right track.
And
we
all
did it
fairness,
before
Judas
something
wasn't
happened.
really a disciple. It was. I would hardly call Judas a disciple, but yeah, sure.
He had a job to do, right? And he did it. And he did it
Several
well.
jobs to do. He failed. I have to
You
fix
say
this
failed.
audio.
I think he did what he was supposed to do. He was supposed to
How'd that work out for him?
backstab. But maybe that was his course. That's what he had to do.
Snitches get stitches.
I think it's snitches get stitches, but I guess bitches works too. All right, killing it. See how that worked? That was an hour and a half. We got people pissed off, including Brace, and I have to go caress her butt to make her feel better.
Oh,
But it was good. That's what we have to do from now on. We have to come up with a philosophical.